When a woman ignores you, the pain does not always hit like heartbreak at first. It hits like confusion. One day she is warm, she replies fast, she asks about your day, she makes you feel like you matter. Then something changes, her replies get shorter, her energy feels different. She takes hours to answer, then maybe she does not answer at all. And now your mind starts attacking you. You wonder what you did wrong. You wonder if she is testing you. You wonder if there is another man. You wonder if you should text again. You wonder if silence means she is losing feelings. You wonder if doing nothing will make her forget you forever. And this is where most men make the exact mistake that pushes her further away. They chase the silence. They send one more message, then another. They ask, "Are you mad at me?" They ask, "Did I do something wrong?" They send emotional paragraphs trying to explain their heart. They check her stories. They wait for her reply like their whole identity is trapped inside one notification. And every time they chase a woman who is ignoring them, they teach her that silence controls them. In a few minutes, you are going to understand the 6 things a man must do after being ignored if he wants to protect his power, rebuild his value, and stop feeding the weak pattern that makes women lose respect. And before this is over, you will know exactly how to handle her silence, how to rebuild your frame, and what to do if she reaches out again without losing yourself. But understand this first. No one can honestly promise that every woman will come back. People have free will. Some women will return, some will not, some should not. Sometimes her ignoring you is not a challenge. Sometimes it is information. Sometimes it is the clearest answer you were refusing to accept. But if there is any chance for her to respect you again, miss your presence, or feel the weight of your absence, it will never come from begging. It will come from self control. It will come from dignity. It will come from the way you act when she expected you to panic. That is the real power. The first thing you do after being ignored is you do not react immediately. This sounds simple, but it is where most men fail. A man gets ignored and his nervous system starts screaming. He wants to fix the feeling. He wants to close the gap. He wants to know why. He wants to prove he still matters. So he reacts from fear and calls it communication. But a fear based message does not feel strong, it feels heavy. When you text because you are calm, your energy is different. When you text because you are panicking, she can feel the need underneath the words. She can feel when "I hope you're okay" really means "please reply so I can feel okay." She can feel when "I just wanted closure" really means "please give me one more chance." She can feel when your concern is actually anxiety wearing polite language, and anxiety does not rebuild attraction, it creates pressure. So when she ignores you, pause. Do not send the second message right away. Do not ask why she is ignoring you in the heat of emotion. Do not check her story to see if she is online. Do not build a whole story in your mind and then punish her for it. Do not let the first wave of fear decide your behavior. Because the first version of you that wants to react is usually not your strongest self. It is your wounded self. It wants relief, not wisdom. A man must learn to create space between emotion and action. That space is where self respect lives. You may feel the urge to text, feel it, you may feel jealousy, feel it, you may feel anger, feel it, you may feel fear. Feel it, but do not obey it immediately. A strong man can say, "I feel this, but I do not have to act from it." That one sentence can save your dignity because if she ignores you and you instantly chase, you teach her that ignoring you increases your effort. If she goes quiet and you become emotional, you teach her that silence makes you easier to control. If she gives less and you give more, you teach her that your standards disappear when you feel afraid. Do not teach that lesson. The second thing you do is stop rewarding distance with attention. This is where men confuse effort with weakness. They think if she gives less, they should give more. They think if she pulls back, they should push forward. They think if she ignores them, they should prove they care even harder. But attraction does not grow when a man rewards low effort with more investment. Respect does not grow when a man keeps knocking on a door where basic communication is missing. If she gives distance, give space. If she slows down, slow down. If she becomes cold, do not become desperate for warmth. If she ignores you, do not reward that silence with more emotional energy. That does not mean you punish her. It does not mean you act cruel. It does not mean you play games. It means you stop over investing where effort is not being returned. A man with self respect does not chase confusion. He observes it. He watches behavior. He lets her actions speak because behavior tells the truth louder than excuses. Maybe she is busy. Maybe she is stressed. Maybe she needs space. Maybe she is losing interest. Maybe she is testing your reaction. Maybe she is keeping you around for attention. You do not need to panic and guess. You need to watch the pattern. One late reply is not always disrespect. A consistent pattern of ignoring, coldness, and low effort is information. And a man must respect information, not fantasy, not potential, not the version of her from the beginning, information. The beginning may have been beautiful. She may have been warm. She may have replied fast. She may have made you feel like you were important. But the beginning is not the whole truth. The truth is how she treats you now. Do not chase the beginning through the current behavior. That line matters. Do not chase the beginning through the current behavior. A lot of men stay trapped because they are not in love with what is happening now. They are attached to how she made them feel before. They are chasing the old warmth through the new coldness. They keep saying, but she used to care. Maybe she did. But what is she showing you now? A grounded man does not live in memory when behavior is speaking in the present. He sees clearly, and clarity gives power. The third thing you do after being ignored is you stop checking her life. This is where no contact becomes real or fake. You may not be texting her, but if you are checking her stories every hour, you are still chasing. If you are looking at who liked her pictures, you are still chasing. If you are checking if she is online, you are still chasing. If you are asking mutual friends what she is doing, you are still chasing. You may be silent on the outside, but inside, your attention is still begging. That is not power, that is emotional addiction. Social media becomes poison when you are already insecure. One story can ruin your night. One picture can create a whole movie in your head. One online status can make you imagine she is talking to someone else. One post can make you feel like you are being replaced, even when you do not know the truth. You think you are gathering information, but most of the time you are feeding anxiety, and a man cannot build a strong frame while feeding anxiety every night. Your attention is your power. Where your attention goes, your energy follows. If your attention is on her silence, her stories, her mood, her possible new man, her reply, her profile, her activity, then your energy is not building your future. It is feeding your wound. Protect your attention. Do not open the app to hurt your own feelings. Do not gather information you are not emotionally stable enough to handle. Do not make her life your daily routine. Because a man without structure will make her his structure. He wakes up and checks her. He works and thinks about her. He trains and hopes she sees it. He sleeps and imagines what he should say if she comes back. His whole day becomes built around one woman's silence. That is dangerous. You need a life bigger than her reply. You need a routine stronger than her silence. You need discipline deeper than your urge. That is why the fourth thing you do is return to your own life with force. Not gently, not casually, with force. Because when a woman ignores you, your emotions will try to pull you out of your routine. You will not want to train. You will not want to work. You will not want to sleep properly. You will want to sit with your phone and keep replaying the same question: why is she ignoring me? But that question can become a prison. So you must replace obsession with structure. For the next 7 days, do not message her first. Do not check her stories. Do not ask mutual friends about her. Do not post to get her attention. Do not make emotional decisions at night. Do not reread old messages until your chest hurts. Do not send just checking on you when what you really want is reassurance. Put that energy into training, work, money, sleep, discipline, faith, emotional control, and rebuilding your identity. Train your body even if your mind is heavy. Clean your room even if your emotions feel messy. Fix your sleep because tired men make weak decisions. Eat properly because heartbreak already drains you. Walk when anxiety hits. Brought what you want to send, but do not send it. Put your phone away before midnight. Build your day before your emotions build it for you. This is not about pretending you do not care. It is about proving that her silence does not own you. Every time you do not chase, you rebuild self trust. Every time you do not check, you rebuild peace. Every time you do not send a fear based message, you rebuild dignity. Every time you choose your routine while hurting, you become stronger. Confidence is not built by saying, I am confident. Confidence is built by keeping promises to yourself. You said you would not chase. Do not chase. You said you would not check. Do not check. You said you would not beg. Do not beg. That is how a man becomes solid. And when a man becomes solid, his energy changes. He is not waiting by the phone. He is not. emotionally shaking because she is quiet. He is not begging for proof that he matters. He is not making one woman's silence the center of his life. He has direction. Direct is powerful. A man with direction does not orbit around a woman's uncertainty. He keeps moving. He has things to build. He has a body to strengthen. He has money to earn. He has skills to improve. He has standards to protect. And when a woman feels that you have direction, she feels that your attention is not cheap. That matters. Because attention without boundaries loses value. If she can ignore you and still receive your full emotional energy, then your attention has no boundary. If she can pull away and still know you are waiting, then your presence has no consequence. If she can give less and you give more, then your effort becomes something she does not have to earn. Stop making your effort automatic. A woman should not have to beg for your attention, but she should not receive full access while giving low effort either. That is balance. Be warm but not desperate. Be open but not needy. Be patient but not passive. Be understanding but not blind. Be calm but not weak. That is the balance most men lose when they are being ignored. They swing between extremes. First they chase, then they get angry. First they beg, then they act cold. First they overgive, then they try to punish. First they worship her, then they insult her. That is not masculine strength. That is emotional instability. A strong man does not swing wildly because his ego got hurt. He stays centered. He can say, I notice the distance, but I will not chase it. He can say, I care, but I will not beg. He can say, I am open to communication, but I am not available for confusion. And sometimes he says nothing at all. He simply steps back. The fifth thing you do is let her silence reveal the truth. This is hard because men want immediate answers. They want to know what her silence means right now. They want to decode everything. They want certainty. They want relief. But sometimes silence needs time to reveal itself. If she is genuinely busy, her behavior will show it. If she is losing interest, her behavior will show it. If she is testing your reaction, your calmness will reveal it. If she only wants attention, your distance will expose it. If she respects you, she will not leave you confused forever. If she does not respect you, chasing will not create that respect. So stop trying to force clarity from someone who is currently choosing confusion. That does not mean you never communicate. If you are in a relationship or a serious connection, you can speak once with calm clarity. You can say, I notice the communication has changed. I am not here to pressure you. If you want to talk, I am open to it. But I am not going to chase confusion. That is mature. Then you step back. You do not repeat it 10 times. You do not make it a weekly speech. You do not beg for reassurance. You do not keep asking, are we okay? Every time her tone changes, say it once. Then watch behavior because words can be soft and behavior can still be cold. A strong man watches behavior. If she responds with maturity, then maybe there is something real to discuss. If she stays vague, distant, and inconsistent, that tells you something. If she disappears, that tells you something. If she returns only when she wants attention, that tells you something. You need truth more than comfort. Comfort can keep you trapped. Truth sets you free. And the truth is, if she keeps ignoring you, her silence may already be the answer. That hurts, but it also gives you freedom. Some people do not give closure with words. They give closure with behavior. If she repeatedly ignores you, avoids clarity, gives low effort, and makes you feel like you are chasing basic communication, then you may already have the answer. You do not need to keep asking. Her pattern is speaking. Listen, a man with self respect does not keep knocking on a door where basic respect is missing. He steps back, not with hatred, with clarity. He can say to himself, I cared, but I will not chase someone who keeps showing me silence. That sentence is strength. It might hurt at first, it might feel like losing. It might feel like if you stop trying, everything ends, but maybe what ends is not love. Maybe what ends is your self betrayal. Maybe what ends is the cycle where she ignores and you lose yourself. Maybe what ends is your addiction to being chosen by someone unsure. Sometimes the thing you call loss is actually the beginning of self respect. Do not fear that the sixth thing you do is handle her return without collapsing because often after you stop chasing, something changes. Maybe she feels the distance. Maybe she notices your energy is no longer reaching. Maybe she becomes curious. Maybe she expected you to break sooner and you did not. Maybe she sends a small message just to test the door. This is where most men throw away their progress. She says, hey, and suddenly he forgets everything. He replies instantly. He writes too much. He asks where she has been. He asks if she misses him. He tries to turn one small message into a full relationship conversation. He starts seeking certainty before she has shown any consistency. And just like that, he proves he was not healed. He was just waiting. Do not be that man. A small signal is not a full return. A hey is not commitment. A reply is not respect. A warm moment is not change behavior. A late night text is not accountability. If she reaches out after ignoring you, stay calm. Do not punish her. Do not rush. Do not pour out your feelings. Do not act like you have been waiting by the phone. If she says, hey, you can say, hey, hope you're doing well. That is enough. Then observe. Does she bring real energy? Does she explain? Does she show consistency? Does she respect your pace? Does she communicate with clarity? Or does she only give you a little warmth to see if you are still available? A grounded man does not get drunk on inconsistent attention. He watches consistency. Because consistency reveals what emotion hides. Someone can miss you and still not be ready to treat you right. Someone can like your attention and still not respect your boundaries. Someone can come close when lonely and pull away when comfortable again. That is why you move slowly. A real return can handle patience, a fake return cannot. If she genuinely values you, she will not be scared by your calm pace. If she only wants emotional access, your boundaries may make her disappear again. Let that happen. You need truth more than temporary comfort. If she says, I miss you, you can say, I hear you. What made you reach out? That question is calm and direct. It moves the conversation from emotion to intention. If she says, I've been thinking about us, you can say, I understand. What do you want to do with that? That invites clarity. If she says, can we talk? You can say, we can talk, but I am not rushing back into anything. That shows standards. You are not begging. You are not attacking. You are not chasing. You are showing what kind of man you are now. And then you watch, because the real apology is not the words, it is changed behavior. If she becomes consistent, respectful, and clear, you can decide slowly. If she returns to the same pattern, you step back again. No drama, no chaos, no emotional collapse, just standards. That is how you act after being ignored. Now, let us be honest about the title. Women do not always come back just because you do six things. No healthy man should build his life around a guarantee. But these six things make one thing certain: you stop losing yourself, and that is the real win. Because if she comes back, she meets a stronger man. If she does not, you still become one. If she misses you, you can handle it. If she stays gone, you can survive it. If she reaches out, you can respond with calm. If she never reaches out, your life does not stop. That is freedom. A free man can care without begging. A free man can miss without chasing. A free man can love without surrendering his dignity. A free man can walk away from confusion without becoming bitter. That is the man you are becoming. And that man is hard to ignore, not because he is trying to be noticed, but because he is no longer begging to be seen. That is the paradox. When you stop needing someone to see your value becomes easier to feel. When you stop chasing, your absence becomes real. When you stop checking, your peace returns. When you stop performing, your energy becomes cleaner. When you stop making her silence the center of your life starts expanding again. That is powerful. And it begins with your next decision tonight. When the urge comes, do not text from panic. Do not check from anxiety. Do not post from insecurity. Do not ask from fear. Put the phone down. Stand up. Drink water. Walk, train, pray. Work, sleep. Bill, do one thing that makes tomorrow better, because discipline is how a man tells heartbreak. You can hurt me, but you cannot lead me. That is the man she remembers, not the man who begged, not the man who folded. Not the man who chased after every ignored message, the man who hurt but stayed composed, the man who cared but did not abandon himself, the man who wanted her but did not make her reply the measure of his worth, the man who turned silence into strength, pain into standards, and distance into direction. That man is hard to ignore. That man is hard to replace. That man is free. So remember the six things. Do not react immediately. Stop rewarding distance with attention. Stop checking her life. Return to your own life with force. Let her silence reveal the truth. And if she comes back, handle her return without collapsing. That is how you stop feeding the old pattern. That is how you protect your peace. That is how you rebuild your frame. That is how you become the man who does not lose himself when a woman ignores him. And if she comes back, you do not rush, you do not punish, you do not collapse. You listen, you observe, you let actions prove what words cannot. And if she never comes back, you still win because you did not lose yourself trying to keep someone who is willing to ignore you. That is real masculine power, not forcing her to return, becoming the man who no longer needs to force anyone to see his worth.